BJ, I want you to know, happy, heavenly birthday, baby. I love you and I miss you so much. This is your day. We're celebrating it with you. I love you.
From victim to victor. My guest will be speaking on that today. But as you know, I like to give you a scripture that describes my guest to you. John 16, verse 33. These things I have spoken to you, that in me you have peace. In the world you will have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. I want to introduce you to my guest today, Felicia Williams. Hello, Felicia.
Hello.
I'm so glad to sit down and talk with you.
I'm grateful to be here.
You know, we just had a brief moment where we met. I didn't really know your story. I just saw your hair. And I was just like, I've got to have her on my show. And then as I've got to know you, so tell me your journey. What's your journey been like?
My journey has been like, it's been tough. Mm-hmm. It's really been tough.
Why?
April 18, 2014, my life turned upside down and inside out. I lost my son due to gun violence. He was at a park with some more kids. 2 people were shot. One was shot in the shoulder, but unfortunately, my son was shot in the heart.
Oh, wow. And so that is a suddenly that just transformed your whole world. And even you saying the date shows that it's still very active memory in you.
Oh, of course. It probably will be forever be in memory and sketched in my heart and my mind.
Yeah.
I had him at 21, and unfortunately, I buried him at 21.
Oh, wow. Wow. And so just tell me, when you heard the news, where were you when you heard the news?
I was actually at my salon, just put a client under the dryer. I have a salon connected to my home. And my ex-mother-in-law called me at 5 o'clock in the morning and said it was 3 police officers and a medical examiner at her home.
Wow.
Looking for Brent. My son is a junior. Didn't know which one she was talking about.
Right.
So I said, your son or mine?
Yeah.
She said, I don't know.
Oh, wow.
And the phone hung up.
That's the unknown part. That's even harder, right?
Yes. And so when the phone hung up, I'm standing there. I began to call his phone. And someone else answered his phone. And I say, where is my son? And why are you answering his phone? And the next sentence was devastating.
Yeah.
He said, he's gone. He's gone. I've been shot. And...
Which was his friend.
Okay, yes. I've been shot. And I'm in the hospital. So I didn't know what gone meant at that moment in time.
Right.
I'm thinking, okay, did he go to the store?
Yeah.
Did he go down the street? Is he over his friend's house? What does gone mean?
Wow.
And as I tried to wrestle through my thoughts, I realized the person that they were looking for was actually my son and not my ex-husband.
And so what do you do when you get that call? You process that it's your son. What is your next step?
Oh, my God. I felt like everything on the inside of me was coming out. You know, I began to scream. I began to, say this is not true. This is not happening to me. I went through the phase of denial. No, my son was getting ready to go to the military. All his hopes and his dreams, I'm thinking about them. And then I began to hear a bam, bam, bam on the door.
Wow.
And someone opened the door, and it was, I didn't see the police, but I heard their voices. I heard the female voice say, that must be the mother. let's pick her up.
Mm.
And they picked me up.
Yeah.
They took me to the couch
Yeah.
and laid me on the couch, and I'm screaming, kicking, and I'm like, this is not true.
Yeah.
I felt like I was in a movie theater, a scary movie theater.
And everything's playing out in front of you.
Or I'm stuck somewhere where I just couldn't see my way. I just saw a lot of darkness. And I'm like, this is not my reality.
Yeah.
I have to be dreaming.
Yeah.
And in the midst of this dream,
Yeah.
I'm gonna wake up and then, it's not real.
Yeah.
So I was playing tricks, I guess, with my mind. I just couldn't believe that this is my Good Friday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it happened on Good Friday.
Oh, wow.
So it wasn't a Good Friday for me.
Yeah.
It was a Good Friday for others, but it wasn't a Good Friday for me.
What a situation to be in. And again, to know that you had him at 21, that's still resonating in me, and he's taken from you at 21.
Yes.
And so that could have just shattered you. You could have just crawled into a hole and just stayed there. What was the next step for you?
The next step, after the police made a mistake and went to the wrong house, they began to, I guess, correct it and send officers to my home. And I laid in the bed and I said, God, what am I going to do with all this pain that I feel on the inside of me? After the funeral and the casket is closed and everybody go back to business as usual, people don't understand that we're still stuck with this bag of grief that we don't even know what to do with. This unfamiliar territory.
So do you have other children at the
I
time?
have a daughter.
Yeah.
Yes, she's older. He was the youngest.
Okay.
So I have 2 children. And so I just didn't know what to do with it. And at 3:33 a.m. in the morning, God spoke to me.
Those numbers,
and He said, I want you to reach out a helping hand to help others.
Wow.
And I said, God, I'm grieving.
And that would have been my exact response. That would have been my exact response.
How can I help them when I'm grieving
the
myself?
The blind leading the blind, right? You're throwing all this back at God.
And that's when he said that I'm healing you from the inside out.
Yeah.
And as you reach out the helping hand for others, you're not thinking about you because I have you.
Wow.
You in connection with them.
Yeah.
And so it was more like their reciprocity.
Oh, absolutely.
As they're sharing.
Yes.
I couldn't think about the pain that I was in because I put myself over there with them.
Yeah. And all the different people that I've had on that I counselors always say, when you're in your deepest despair, help somebody.
Yes.
Because in helping them, you're really helping yourself. You're taking the attention off you. So you started this. So where did you reach out first?
So
where do you go?
Actually, a lot of people was reaching out to me before I could reach out to them. And so I have family, I have friends reach out to me that have lost loved ones. And so
in gun violence or just
gun violence or domestic violence or some type of violence. And they was like, well, my sister went through that and she can help you. I don't know what to say, but, a friend of mine or my hairstylist, it was more like the word of mouth and social media. Yes.
Wow.
And so this was something that I didn't sign up for. So I felt like I was in a club that I didn't sign up for. I didn't put an application in for it, but it chose me and I didn't choose it.
Yes. Yeah. And, grief, as painful as it is, sometimes you need other grieving people so that you can fully express yourself to someone who doesn't know. You're just giving them just the surface, right? But when it's somebody that has felt that rip that you have felt, so as you start opening up, what happens from there?
I ended up starting a nonprofit organization because I asked God, I said, God, I don't have a name. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. And he gave me this name, Journey, the number 2, Healing Hearts.
Yes.
And I said, God, what's the number 2 about? He said, Amos 3:3, how can 2 walk together unless they be in agreement? And I said, okay. I said, well, who was the other one? He said, me.